signal to the world we are open for business.
We are now open for business. This is 𝗍𝗏𝗏 bringing you yet another episode to guide you in discovering your passion and growing your business as we learn from experts in the field. Sama-sama tayong matuto sa isa na namang makabuluhang usapan tungo sa pagpapaunlad ng inyong negosyo. Ang Open for Business ay mapapanood nyo rin sa Facebook at YouTube. Siguraduhin mag-like at mag-subscribe sa aming social media page at Net25 TV. Alamin natin, suriin mula sa mga negosyante, thought leaders at mga personalidad sa iba't ibang larangan ang kanilang mga strategies, trends at mahalagang karanasan sa pagninegosyo dahil tayo ay open for business. From instant payment alerts through SoundPay to seamless transactions with the GCash for Business portal, find out how technology is making business success just a tap away.
I wanted to create po something that is truly mine. My ideas, everything.
And then eventually, that passion became like a bread and butter na also for me.
It's ushering the micro, small, and medium enterprises into the easy era of doing business.
I'm Jamie Harrell, bringing you business news and information here on Open for Business. Total deposits to the banking system grew by 5.9% to 20.671 trillion pesos as of end June versus 19.518 trillion pesos over the same period in 2024. Data from the BSP revealed. Deposit accounts inched by 20.8% to 158.494 million pesos year on year. The number of depositors also rose by 17.8% to 140.38 million from just 119.19 million in the first 6 months of 2024. Saving deposits dominated most of the banking sector's deposit liabilities at 8.96 trillion pesos, BSP data showed. Now, in other business news, increase in the retail prices of construction materials in Metro Manila slowed in September to 1% from 1.1% in August. This is according to the Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA. The downtrend in construction material retail price index in the National Capital Region was due to the annual decrease in the index of carpentry materials, plumbing, electrical, masonry, and miscellaneous construction materials. The BSP is expected to cut interest rates in 2026 by 50 basis points as inflation remains soft, according to a BMI Fitch Solutions report released middle of this week. The country's central bank made a fresh cut of 25 basis points in key rates last October 9 to 4.75%. Now, according to BMI, it expects another round of cuts by 25 basis points by December, stating that the BSP stance is more accommodating in terms of monetary policy. The think tank also expects a domestic growth of about 5.4% this year. A safeguard duty of 14 pesos per 40 kilogram bag of imported ordinary Portland cement type 1 and blended cement will be imposed by the Department of Trade and Industry, also known as DTI, for the next 3 years. Now, the move is based on the recommendation of the Tariff Commission, is seen to level the playing field between domestic manufacturers and importers of cement, and is not expected to be passed on to consumers, said DTI Secretary Cristina Roque. And that's the business roundup for this week. I'm Jamie Harrell for Open for Business.
This portion is brought to you by Clean and Fit. Kaibigan, feeling bloated, heavy, constipated? I-Clean and Fit mo na yan. Fix your gut. Fix your health with Clean and Fit. Available on Facebook, TikTok, Shopee, and Lazada.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Can't stand the sight of blood? Does it make you break out in a sweat? Or even faint? You might have 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗏𝗶𝗶, a fear of blood. Sometimes just looking away can help. Doctors, of course, don't have that option. Looking at your blood can tell them a lot about your health. In Nicholas's case, they discovered a dangerous condition usually only seen in older people. It was almost too late. Why does something have to happen before anyone checks? Well, we're checking now on In Good Shape.
Ang bawat pagkain siguradong may kwento, lalo na ang mga ipinamana pa at inabot na ng dekada-dekada. Namnamin ang lasa ng mga pagkaing may nakabubusog na kwento. Isa-serve na ang Savoring Stories sa LTE. Love, Tony Pet and Everything. Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. sa Net 25.
MSMEs tend to get overwhelmed with the demands of day-to-day operations. Enter GCash for Business. It's a suite of innovative tools designed to make every transaction simpler, faster, and more secure. Whether it's SoundPay that gives instant audible payment confirmation even on the go, or the GCash for Business portal where businesses can manage transactions with zero fees and no wallet limits. These solutions are ushering MSMEs into the easy era of doing business. Joining us are two women who heeded the sound decision of using GCash for Business to simplify their operations and concentrate on what they do best. Welcome, Miss Emgee Po, the brains behind 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗏𝗏, a fashion line from Bacolod, and she's via Zoom. She's in Bacolod. Miss Pauline Bianca Arcega, the passionate baker of Cloudberry Bakehouse from Biñan, Laguna, and our very own Mr. Mark Mamaril, head of MSMEs of GCash. Miss Emgee, how are you in Bacolod?
I'm good. We're good here in Bacolod.
I hope I can taste your inasal there.
Please come. Please do come.
Okay, that's on record. We'll go there. Open for Business and GCash and Rebel will go there. How are you, Miss Pauline?
I'm good po. Thank you for asking.
Likewise, Cesar, thank you for having us.
We're doing a lot of on-cam discussions earlier, and as I mentioned in my introduction, this is very special because we have MSMEs, the set of Open for Business. As you know, Open for Business is really the platform for MSMEs, and we're very happy to have GCash featuring the MSMEs here. But since a lot of people would want, especially MSMEs, would want easier solutions, faster solutions, they want MSMEs to really grow. Here comes GCash. So my first question is, how or what is GCash for Business, and what is its role in supporting MSMEs in their growth journey, Mark?
Actually, GCash for Business, no? It's ushering the micro, small, and medium enterprises into the easy era of doing business. And what do you mean by that, no?
Yes, yun na, tatanungin ko sana.
Yes,
diba?
oo nga.
If there is an easy era, what is the hard era?
The hard era is, for the lack of a better term, it's manual. And we don't want to, we want to automate things, right? For an MSME, we want to make sure that they can focus on sales. There's so many things that they are looking after, right? In any type of business that they do. From HR, from payroll, to sales, to marketing. It's all in one that they have to think about. And I think that's where GCash, where we want to come in. How do we make sure that we have a platform, we have the tools available for them to really manage their business in a more efficient manner? And I think part of which we all know na when it comes to MSMEs, ang dami. There are a lot of solutions in place, but for them, is it for me or is it too complicated? And at the end, they end up not trying and they just go back to their, for the lack of a better term, manual ways. However, with GCash, we are super confident in how we want to drive the digital agenda. And with that, GCash for Business is about ushering this new era of doing business with GCash as their partner of choice. And how do we help them navigate through this digitalization journey for these merchants now, from not just being small, but also journeying them to being a medium and potentially a large enterprise?
Operational word that you mentioned there is digitalization. So, which leads me to ask, how does GCash for Business empower Filipino entrepreneurs in adapting to the fast-changing digital landscape through its business solutions? We know that not only MSMEs, diba, even the large enterprise, everything is going towards digitalization. Even government, in making entrepreneurs adapt to this fast-changing digital landscape, paano nyo ginagawa? How do you empower MSMEs?
To begin with, we all know MSMEs have a lot of options, right? And the beauty of a Filipino entrepreneur, madiskarte sila. And they'll always find ways to make their business work. However, I think where we come in, where GCash for Business comes into play, we want to make sure na we are that all-in-one platform of choice, wherein we can help them in their journey of digitalization. And part of which is we offer a lot of solutions that are relevant to them. Because in the end, the customer is king for us. All of our solutions are actually based, it's coming from a customer pain point, right? And to your point, right, digitalization, we need to be able to adapt. We need to be that partner of choice for GCash because it helps future-proof their business, build resilience against market disruption. Case in point, when COVID happened, a lot of people started using GCash. And I think we also need to be ready for that. And putting all those tools together, making it relevant for the customer, making it relevant for the merchant, when they use the platform of choice, which is GCash, they'll see that, okay, if I start using GCash, I can do easy payment transactions. I can transfer from one account to another with zero transaction fees and no wallet limit. So I think that's super important now when we are part of that journey for MSMEs now. We want to see them grow. The partner of choice from GCash, not just a small merchant, but as we journey them from small, medium to large, we want to be a part of their success journey.
Wow, very impressive explanation and succinct explanation of Mark. Pero magkakaalaman tayo kasi we have two women entrepreneurs here who could attest to that and who can share their experience. Before we go to Bacolod, punta muna tayo sa Binyan. Although Miss Pauline is here with us. So, Miss Pauline, can you tell us a bit about your business and also how did you start it?
So I am a pastry chef po. So I started 18 years ago. And coming from a hotelier background, I wanted to combine my professional skill with something more personal. So to be able to do that, I decided to start Cloudberry earlier this year. And we offer po cookies, different flavors of cookies from classics to creative. And then we offer po celebration cakes from classics din po to personalized and custom cakes po.
As I see you, you're very young. Ganun ba talaga ngayon? Kumbaga parang ang mga Gen Zs ba, millennials, iniiwanan na talaga ang corporate world and then they go into business?
Well, I can only speak for myself.
Okay,
po, no?
go ahead.
So, for me, because I am in a creative world, being a pastry chef, I wanted to create po something that is truly mine. My ideas, everything from deciding what is on the menu to selling to how it looks. Because when you work outside, like in the hotel
May
setting,
templates,
yes, so meron po kayong susundan.
may
So,
protocols.
yes, so as much as I enjoyed working there, I reached a point in my career po na I wanted to create something na talagang sa akin. So to be able to do that, I should create or start a company na mag-showcase po nung passion ko for baking. So I started Cloudberry po. So for me, I describe pastry and baking as edible art because you can create something so beautiful. At the same time, you can eat. Hindi lang siya pang display. So kaya ko po nasasabi it's creative because it takes so much energy to even create a cake. Kasi i-conceptualize nyo po yun, yung vision ng client nyo, yung vision ng customer. Minsan, meron silang i-describe but they don't know how to visualize it. So I have to do that for them para po magkatotoo po ano yung gusto nilang mangyari for their celebration.
At saka tatakamin sila.
Yes.
Para makita pa lang, visual feast na.
Yes.
Diba?
May ibang customers nga po na dahil maganda yung cake, ayaw na nilang galawin. Pang-display, for picture na lang. So mas marami pang picture yung cake kaysa dun sa mga bisita kasi nga maganda po yung pagkakagawa. So that is the creative part of being a pastry chef po. It's not only like just baking.
Okay, lovely, Pauline. Now, from Biñan, Laguna, let's go to Miss Bacolod. Can you tell us more about your business and how did you start?
Well, Get Spotted started as a thesis project back in Lasal in 2011. So back then, I used to source ready-to-wear pieces from Divisoria and then later on moved to Thailand, China, and Korea. But when the pandemic happened, everything stopped and I had to start all over again from scratch. So that's when I decided to do things differently and focus on creating locally. I began working with Filipino seamstresses and eventually through Congressman Alvarez, I was introduced to the Negros 9 weavers of 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗏. And when I saw the fabrics they made from scratch, their beautiful hand-woven fabrics inspired me to incorporate them into our collections. From there, Get Spotted became not just a clothing brand, but a way to celebrate Filipino craftsmanship and at the same time give livelihood to the local communities.
That's interesting, Emgee, kasi especially where you said it started as a thesis. So, yun na rin ba ngayon ang uso ngayon? Kumbaga parang, kasi ngayon, di ba, parang yung mga kabataan nag-aaral. Pero gusto nila, habang nag-aaral pa, sige, business na tayo. Which is very good, for the country because the country creates young entrepreneurs and that's exactly what we need. We are one of the fastest growing economies in Asia. And even in the digital world, we are the fastest growing digital economy. Your business has been there for 14 years already and you have plans also to go internationally. But my question there is, plinano mo rin ba talaga yon to go towards entrepreneurship immediately or while you were still a student?
It's just so happened that I took up marketing management, so it is really in line with what I was taking back then. And then eventually, that passion became like a bread and butter na also for me.
Nabanggit nila iba-ibang industriya, pastry business, fashion business. Kayo ba, do you have parameters on what industry to support?
When you talk about ease of doing business, that means there shouldn't be any parameters. Again, I go back to, we want to be part of the journey of a merchant, no? From being creative, to what Pauline mentioned, and being able to be part of that journey as they start becoming a formal merchant. And I think with GCash, we're all about being inclusive. Just how we really preach financial inclusion, pati sa merchants, we want to make sure na not just being the partner of choice, but we are top of mind when it comes to customers paying them. It's GCash is a form of payment acceptance because we want to promote cashless, we want to promote digitalization because it's crucial for them to have that ease of doing business and not having to worry about receiving cash tapos di-deposit pa sa banko. Imagine if all the transactions that were paid to Pauline and Emgee, it's all via cashless or via GCash. By having that swept to our portal or a GCash for Business portal, it already lets them know na real time, I have already access to my funds. So I think it's important na we don't want them to think about the hassle of doing business, but we want them to focus on their growth journey. And we are just their partner in that growth journey.
We know that GCash is now a household name, di ba? Their market share is so humongous, di ba? Sa'yo, how did you find out about GCash and when did you start using GCash for business solutions?
So when I was in college kasi, I used to do buy and sell and I was already using GCash by then.
Okay.
Pero ano lang siya, deposit and then cash out. So wala siyang ganitong technology. So I was really familiar and I already trust the brand kasi ginagamit ko na siya before. So when I stopped selling, I started working. At the back of my mind, alam ko nandun siya. I used to be an OFW po. So when I came home for good last year, I decided to do business. So I knew that I wanted to use GCash as part of payments. Nung nagre-research po ako, we went to Franchise Expo to look for suppliers, to look for business ideas in general. Doon ko po nakita yung GCash for Business.
And GCash supports a lot of franchise expos.
Yes.
Okay.
So I attended 2. The first one, nakita ko na doon. So I took the brochure and I did research about it. And then the second time I went, I saw them again with the same agent. So lumapit ako dun sa agent and then I already expressed na I wanted to be partners with GCash for my small business. But I was hesitant kasi small business nga. So I just started. So we're a home baking business po kasi. And they're like, no, it's okay. I'll walk you through it. Ganyan, ganyan. So after 1 or 2 weeks, the application went through and everything was just so smooth from there. They're very accommodating and mabilis yung response nila. So I'm really happy po na I decided to go with GCash. And I went to that Franchise Expo kasi doon ko sila nakita.
Okay, how about you, Emgee? What's your engagement with, your first engagement and experience with GCash? Especially the GCash for Business Solutions.
Kasi here in Bacolod, the city is really pushing for a cashless transactions. And since we are located inside the mall, talagang in-encourage kami by the management to yes, offer cashless transaction. So that's where we discovered GCash, SoundPay, and the business solution. So we could like easily offer that to the customers. So with the SoundPay and the business solution, our payment process made more seamless and secure. Easily, we could accept cashless transactions, even pop-ups and fairs, which help us serve more customers and increase our sales without worrying about the manual errors or delay. We don't have to, like, every after transaction, like, confirm that, pumasok na ba yung payment or ganon. Kasi with the SoundPay, it's automatically, it will alert you once the customer has paid. And then, at the same time, even if I'm not at the shop working, I am somewhere working remotely, I can check online if pumasok ba yung payment, or was it successful, or nagka-error ba. So ganun, it's very real time as mentioned.
For SoundPay, I was really impressed because I wasn't expecting that the device would give audio confirmation. It's so much easier po. So it's a small compact device.
Okay.
It's pocket size po. And then it has a QR code. So doon po, they will tap, and then when the payment is received, the device will give an audio confirmation. It would say payment received in the amount of, for example, 100 pesos. The payment received in the amount of 100 pesos. So that confirms the payment po. So I don't need to check my phone. I don't need to check any app kasi po yung device na po yung nagko-confirm. Well, before po, nung hindi ako gumagamit ng SoundPay, it was a little bit of a hassle kasi I have to check kung pumasok yung payment. Minsan mahina po yung data. So, nagde-delay siya. So, yung mga customers na iinip or medyo agitated na parang wala pa ba? Wala pa ba? Kasi sa akin confirm na. Pero po, dun sa SoundPay, since it doesn't use Wi-Fi, it uses a network, it has a SIM card, so hindi kailangan ng Wi-Fi. So, pag tap po nila doon, real time, sasabihin po kung magkano yung binayad ng customer. So, pati yung customer na i-impress na, wow, may ganyan pala. Sabi niya, ang galing naman, ganyan. It's very convenient po. O not only for me, but also po for the customers.
The customers appreciated the faster checkout times talaga. So it's very, very hassle-free. On the admin side naman, in our staff, it's very easy and convenient since it required very minimal training since, as mentioned, the device is very intuitive, very, very easy, like 1, 2, 3, that's all. That's all you need to do. So it's very user-friendly as well.
In your case, has there been studies, Pauline, na nakita mo na pag-aralan mo, ano yung pagkakaiba ng average time na close mo to sale or na-satisfy mo yung client because of the use of GCash solutions?
Malaki po. Kasi with cash payment, it involves for me also counting cash and giving back. Tapos minsan wala pang panukli kasi naubos ko na yung panukli. So it's so much hassle po. With the SoundPay po, mas mabilis po yung transaction talaga. And hindi ko na kailangan mag-spend ng time para magbilang ng change for them. Hindi spend time to look for change din pag naubusan. So it's really, really convenient. And that is on really the practical side po pag nagbebenta sa mga bazaar, ganyan. Kasi yung mga small issues na nakaka-apekto po talaga sa customer experience. Kaya po, sobrang convenient po yung SoundPay for us as merchants po.
Emgee, Pauline talked about customer experience. So my question is, do you have specific measurable reductions in mistransaction or reconciliation issues? Nasabi mo rin kanina parang mas konti yung pagrereklamo ng customer. And how has settlement timing when funds are available in your account affected your cash flow? Kasi lalo ka na, you restock, you pay your suppliers, and you reduce your borrowings.
Because of the automatic logs and the reports are cut down, like instead of doing it for hours, meron na siyang automatic reporting yung portal. It has really helped our business settle, like example, salaries, paying the supplier, the merchant, since they also use GCash. So the daily closing became faster, and for our part, instead of having a bookkeeper sending it every day to our bookkeeper, sinisend na lang siya namin parang once a week. So we send the report to the bookkeeper nila, and then sila na bahala. Unlike before na every day we have to coordinate with our bookkeeper to, ganito na yung sales, ganito na yung we have to reconcile the cash on hand versus the transactions. The portal has really helped us with the reporting side naman.
Sa palagay mo ba, Emgee, nakatulong din ito para faster yung settlement mo ng operational problem? Can you cite maybe an instance where the GCash solution was able to resolve a specific operational problem that you encountered?
Example sa admin side, sa salary ng mga staff, we pay them manually sa cash. We have to count everything. But having the portal, the business solution, and then our staff do have their own GCash account, we do it everything online lang. I don't need to go to the shop to give them money personally, and then I just wire them the money through GCash. Since also the payment from the customers go to our business account, GCash account. So dun ko din kinukuha yung binabayad namin na sweldo sa mga staff.
Do you have also an example there, Pauline, where a specific operational problem was resolved by the GCash solution?
Yes, I don't have to go to the bank to make deposits anymore.
Oo, no.
Kasi diretso na po siya sa bangko. So going home from pop-ups, from bazaar makes me feel so much safer kasi wala akong dalang cash na medyo malaki. And I don't have to worry about, spending time sa pipila sa bangko kasi diretso na po siya sa bangko magde-deposit. So that is through GCash po.
This portion is brought to you by Pure Gold. Sa Pure Gold, always mura, always kompleto, always may promo, always panalo.
Sa kasulukuyang henerasyon, marami na ang nag-viral. Dahil po yan sa kanilang ginagawang pagtulong sa kapwa. Pero mas marami ang tumutulong kahit walang nakakakita. Kaya naman kung ikaw ay may kilala na grupo o individual na may natatanging pagresponde sa lipunan at maging sa kalikasan, mag-text lamang sa 0915-415-1035 o mag-email sa responde@net25.com at magpadala ng mensahe sa ating Facebook page at Net25TV. Baka kayo na ang susunod nating Certified Key Responder.
Let's get together sa Net25. Sa Net25.
Matapang at mapanuring komentaryo.
70 to 80% of our Congress is political dynasty. So paano naman yan magkakaroon ng checks and balance? Ikaw yung congressman, yung asawa mo yung mayor.
Balita at impormasyon, detalyado at makabuluhan. Hihimayin para sa mas malalim na talakayan. Samahan ng mga batikang komentarista. Ali Soto.
This is for him to have his day in court, di ba, Senator? Alam mo naman yan, nag-aral ka din ng batas.
At Pat P. Daza.
Yung mga ganitong pagsasalita ng China, yan ba'y dapat ikabahala natin? Dapat ba natin ikatakutan?
ASPN. Ano sa palagay nyo? Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 10 ng umaga sa Net25.
Okay, in short, totoo yung mga sinasabi ni Mr. Mark Mamaril kanina kasi we already have testimonials of actual MSMEs who are using the product. And this is something very exciting because this is what we want to really tell our audience, especially the small businesses. How can you quickly describe for us SoundPay and GCash for Business? I know that nauna na yung experience nila, but can you share more about SoundPay and GCash for Business?
So SoundPay is essentially, it's a device that enables merchants to hear when a customer pays on the go. So I think Emgee and Pauline touched upon it. We want to really preach efficiencies. With SoundPay, there's that assurance for the business owner as well as the customer na nagbayad talaga sila, and it went and it swept to the portal, or the GCash for Business portal. So the GCash for Business portal, it's your all-in-one payments and management platform that allows for 0 transaction fees and no wallet limit. So that's super important because as you all know, in the pandemic, we saw a lot of merchants also use GCash as a form of payment. But because they reach their wallet limit, they either revert to cash or they would have to rely on the GCash account of their kamag-anak, etc. But at least with this one, we enable business transactions. We help them be more efficient. And to what Pauline and Emgee mentioned, we're talking about legit merchant pain points na if all the transactions were coursed through the SoundPay, which immediately goes to the portal, they already see real time all the transactions that go there, and from there they can do transfers to their bank account without having to leave their shop. That's what we want to overly emphasize. The ease of doing business is really with GCash.
You mentioned, Mark, about no limits.
Yes.
Dati ba, ano yung limit?
It varies, Cesar, right? The limit actually applies to a personal wallet. It can range, depending on how you KYC or you know your customer, on the details that you give. It can range from 10,000, 100,000, up to 500,000. So we all know if a merchant or if a customer, a consumer like us, we give all those details, we know for a fact na within the month, alam ko I can receive up to 500,000, assuming I give all the details necessary. However, why bother? Why think of that? Now, why have that at the back of your head if you're a merchant, knowing that there's a solution na you don't have to think about that. You can just focus on business growth, driving scalability for your business. So it's really more that we want to journey people from using just the GCash app to the GCash for Business portal.
Okay, let's go back to the ladies. Pauline first. I know this is a little bit confidential, but kahit estimates lang would be enough. How much of your business comes from GCash transactions versus the traditional payments?
So, before, I only relied on cash payments po for the business. And then when I applied for GCash SoundPay to use as a partner for my business po, almost 60% of the people are using SoundPay versus cash payment. Because what happens, pag nasa booth or nasa bazaar po kami, there are customers na wala namang balak bumili talaga. So wala silang dalang cash. But because may pera sila sa GCash, mapapadaan lang. And imagine if I didn't have the SoundPay, then, I miss potential sales po. Kasi syempre sabihin nila, I don't have cash, sige, next time na lang. But then when I use SoundPay, kahit wala silang balak bumili, but because mapapabili sila, just because I had that option po for cashless. So yun po yung difference po nun with all the transactions po, nung nag-SoundPay na po ako.
Okay, Emgee, Bacolod has a strong culture scene. I've been to Bacolod and I love it. I wanted to go back. And the city pushes for cashless markets. As a matter of fact, we have data here nga na parang I think part of the LGU's projects is towards that digitalization. Have you noticed differences in payment methods by customer segments? Mas digital ba yung turista versus locals? Bumabata ba yung customer segments na nagbabayad via GCash? We noticed kasi even the market segment, my age. Yan, okay, so ngayon, kumbaga kami, nag-GCash na rin kami at I have spoken with Undersecretary and the Secretary of DTI here. So parang sinasabi nga nila yung digitalization. Minsan ang nagiging problema yung trust ng tao dun sa specific platform. What are your observations in terms of the habits or the changing behavior of the customers, Emgee?
Well, expectedly, yung market segment, yung age na nag-use ng GCash is mostly professionals, like 20 to 40 years old mostly. But I just want to share this experience. Yesterday, I was at the shop. I had this customer na 60 years old. So she was like going around the mall looking for a top that she's gonna wear for her birthday daw, but she doesn't have a cash yet. Surprisingly, she has a GCash account. So meron siyang anak living in Manila, and then she called her daughter telling her na she wanted this top. She's gonna use it on her birthday. And instantly, yung anak niya nagpadala ng payment via GCash to her mom, and then her mom paid sa GCash sa store. So it was very heartwarming since we made it happen. We made her wear the favorite top because of GCash na pinadala ng anak niya. So basically, our transactions in store lately has been not just 20 to 40 years old lang. So it parang became like all ages na. They're starting to adopt that kind of transaction na, oh, pwede pala, possible pala.
Back to Binyan naman. So sa Binyan, actually this is not just in Binyan eh. So halos lahat na to. Shoppers are influenced strongly by social media and promos. Hindi nga lang sa Binyan. Pinoy, basta lalo may promo, may free. Have you seen different payment preferences for walk-in customers versus online pre-order customers?
So, for payment preference po, depende po sa age. Normally, Gen Z's, millennial, they prefer cashless. Tas medyo older po, they used to pay cash. But some older generation po, they also pay through GCash. So, it's mixed po.
Okay, this is my follow-up question, Pauline. For baked goods that are pre-purchased or at least mag-down payment to secure order, has cancellation occurrences been reduced?
Yes. Drastically po. Kasi for cakes, for example, like customized cakes, we do require down payment to secure the booking. So most of the time, before using GCash, they would say, okay, sige, pa-deposit ko sa sister ko, pa-deposit ko kay ganito, ganyan, kasi I don't have time to go to the bank, ganyan. But certain times po, sige, wag na lang kasi wala naman akong time mag-deposit. So, next time na lang. Upon using GCash, minsan wala na pong down payment, full payment agad. So, secured na yung booking agad. So, yun po yung, yun yung difference between before and when I started using GCash po. So, mas marami ako nasisecure na sales.
Okay. Now, Emgee, kanina nabanggit ni Pauline, she was able to interface GCash twice and attended even a franchise expo, before she went into this GCash for business solution. So my question to you is, how did your team adapt to using the tools offered by GCash for business? Did you need to make adjustments? Medyo nahirapan ba? Kasi with the experience of Pauline, she mentioned earlier na parang madali lang, parang it's very smooth. Is that also your experience with your team when you started using the tools?
Yes, it's very convenient, especially for our staff na nasa store namin handling the GCash. So even my mother-in-law, who is already a senior citizen, na minsan siya din nagka-cashier sa shop, she knows how to use it because the SoundPay is very intuitive nga, very easy to use and very friendly.
Pero paano yung onboarding process? Paano yung terms niya? How did you start with the onboarding process? Can you briefly walk us through on that?
We just requested for the GCash around 1 to 2 weeks lang siya, dumating na siya, and then they sent a representative to orient our staff, the entire team, as to how it works. And then as for the admin side, yung sa reporting side, I'm the one who's monitoring it, and it's very, very convenient naman po.
Okay, back to you, Pauline. So this one, for SoundPay naman, has it affected your accounting reconciliation process? Kasi ang experience ni Emgee, madali din sa kanya, nakatulong sa bookkeeping niya. In your case, what was the experience like?
For SoundPay naman po, I get notification almost 3 times daily for every transaction. So I don't have to manually write it down. Kasi it's already broken down po sa report na sinesend po sa akin every day, whether may transactions or wala. So tuloy-tuloy po siya. So na-reduce yung time ko po from closing the booth, from doing inventory. So that's one part na hindi ko na kailangang intindihin. So I just need to check my phone or to print it out. Tapos naka-breakdown na po yun doon. And then I get notification po when it's going to be deposited sa bank. It's convenient and it's also saving us so much time.
Are there specific features that you'd like to see and implement that would help you scale your operations? May wish list ba kayo? Let's start. Total, andito ang GCash. Parinig na natin.
I hope that it would be able to take debits and credit cards po for tap. Yun po, kasi there are customers who also prefer to use credit cards po.
Do you have plans, GCash, of having that in the future as part of the suite?
I think it's all about payment acceptance for the merchants, and of course that's something we strongly consider, given we want to make sure that the ease of doing business is still there, and that just not includes GCash payment acceptance, also cards. Yes, that's all definitely in the plans. Because in the end, they are our customer. We hear them out, and we make sure that we follow through. Yeah.
Okay, Emgee.
It has always been the goal of my brand to show to the world the Filipino craftsmanship, to bring it to the world stage. So we wanted sana the GCash, baka we could use GCash SoundPay and the business solution also while we do pop-ups in like Singapore, New York, and Paris. So maybe they could help with that as well. Para naman to help us also to bring our brand and the Filipino heritage sa abroad.
That is a good point, Emgee, because I learned also that soon you will have a pop-up in Paris and New York. Ang social naman nito, Emgee, parang hindi na MSME ito. But we want the Filipino brands, the local brands, to be showcased in the world stage. And thank you for, one of these young entrepreneurs who are bringing Filipino brands in the international stage. So specifically, I would ask, mahirap din ba yun to enter the international stage? What are the challenges that you have experienced, and how can digital solutions like GCash help you as you bring this Filipino brands and Filipino work and Filipino talent in the global stage?
We did the pop-up in Paris last December. So by that time, the only payment method we accepted was cash. So in Europe, mostly, especially the younger generation, they would really prefer a cardless transaction. So hopefully, GCash can help us with this one.
Kasi importante yung customer feedback, di ba? So, parang AI lang yan na sinasabi ni Mark eh. So, ang AI kasi, the more data that you get, the more intelligent it becomes. The more frequent you use it, the more data you put in it, the better for you because it becomes more intelligent. Natatrack din ba yung customer data dito, at saka nagagamit mo ba iyon sa promos ninyo, at ano yung resulta nun in terms of ROI?
Yes po, kasi when I was doing it manually, I would miss some. Hindi ko siya natatrack because I am a one-woman team po at the moment.
Wow.
And I get assistance from bazaars from time to time. But in general, 95% of the business, I run it myself. So, syempre may mamimiss po ako. I make mistakes a lot. Tas when I do tallying, minsan hindi nagtutugma. So through this, may efficiency and accuracy po. So nakikita ko po yung difference nun. So it helps me a lot in data when I write inventories, when I do calculations and all of that. So natutulungan po talaga ako ng GCash.
This is a very good combination of showcased MSMEs because here is a one-woman team and here is another team that has a pop-up in New York and Paris. So both are using GCash solutions. In your case, Emgee, natatrack mo din ba yung customer data, and do you use it for your promos and other trade activities where you get or achieve a specific ROI?
Yes, one time we did the pop-up also in Manila just last week. So we had a promo na if you are a GCash user and if you're gonna pay, since we're really promoting a cashless transaction, we gave them 5% discount pag GCash yung payment. So we were kind of surprised because during that bazaar in Manila that we did last week, parang 95% of our customers paid via GCash talaga. And they were really amazed with the SoundPay that every time they pay, may merong acknowledgement that you have received blah 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 pesos and thank you, parang ganon. So faster na siya.
Baka naman sabihin ng mga nanonood sa atin, nako, ang ganda yan, napakadali. Kaya lang, mahal ang transaction fee. How do transaction fees compare versus handling cash?
So for transaction fees po, their fee is very competitive. Before going with GCash, I did so much research po. Since I'm bootstrapping my business po, I'm funding my business, so I need to invest it properly. So I did so much research, and with GCash po, it's very competitive po ang kanilang transaction fees. And from there, the convenience that they give me as a merchant and the security and convenience they give to the customers po, I think it's really worth it po to invest with GCash. Kasi I don't have to go to the bank. I don't have to do tallying every day. They send me updates whether there are transactions or not. The updates is there. Tapos nasa diretso na sa bank. So it saves me time. I don't have to carry cash to the bank. And then for the customers po, may security po na hindi magduduplicate yung transaction. So meron pong confirmation na, okay, we receive so-and-so payment. So I think it's worth it po to invest.
And if you are one-woman business, you are not a machine, Pauline, di ba? You need to sleep, you need to rest, di ba? So, siyempre, with GCash siguro, makakatulog ka kahit paano,
kahit
di ba?
paano po.
Okay. Is that the same experience with you, Emgee?
Yes, of course. The security and convenience talaga. So instead of hiring additional staff, kasi before I used to hire a new staff to get the physical cash sa shop to deposit to bank. So instead of doing that every day, at least it saves us time also, which is parang na-offset na lang yung transaction fees na sina-charge ng GCash.
Okay, before we give the floor to Mark Mamaril, who is the head of MSME of GCash, what's your advice to MSMEs thinking of adapting to both SoundPay and GCash for business? And are there must-do steps to avoid common mistakes to increase their sales and profits?
Well, my advice to entrepreneurs, I've said this before, is starting small doesn't really mean like thinking small. Tools like GCash can really help us move forward, connecting us to more customers, making transactions easier, and giving us time to focus on what really matters, like growing our passion and serving our community. So if you're a small business owner, don't think twice. GCash helps you grow. Sabi nga nila, one tap at a time.
Wow, one tap at a time. Wow, lovely. Pauline?
What I would advise is just to give it a try. Because for me, I want to have a partner who is reliable, and I think GCash is a partner that is reliable. So it has proven so many times na kaya nilang padaliin yung trabaho namin as sellers and merchants, as business owners, and it gives so much convenience, security, and it gives you, like what Emgee said, focus on the things that matter, like for me, my case, to do recipes, to do menus, to serve the customers while in the pop-up booth, instead of just worrying about handling cash and doing inventories and things like that. So I have enough time and energy to do things that actually matters more. So yung part na nag-worry ako, GCash handles that for me. So for small business owners who's thinking of partnering with GCash, I would say just give it a go, because it's really worth it.
Wow, you know, the best way for a product to be promoted is to really talk with the customers or consumers of that product. That's why we have more questions to our lady guests who are MSMEs here, rather than asking Mr. Mark Mamaril himself, to highlight, the experience of the customers. So Mark, ano po ba ang masasabi mo sa onboarding pagdating sa application to first transacted sale? And if there are issues, how can merchants reach out to GCash? And tell us more about the excitement that you are doing with Rebel here on GCash for Business Solutions.
So to answer your point about onboarding, it's pretty quick, relatively quick, between 1 to 2 weeks from application to us receiving their documents to actually delivering the device. it's pretty quick, right? So we want to make sure, again, it's all about ease of doing business, to be very transparent for our vision in GCash, to make sure that our tools are available, are affordable, and it also makes sense for the business owners to use, that it's also relevant for them. I think if people want to apply, just go to business.gcash.com. Kung nainggit kayo kay Pauline and Emgee, it's all about going to that website and seeing how easy it is to actually fulfill your application at the comfort of your home. The easy era has come with GCash, and yeah, I think to really emphasize na we want to make the experience better, not just for the merchants but also for the customers of our merchants.
Wow, thank you, Mark Mamaril. Mark is the head of MSMEs of GCash, and thank you straight from Bacolod. That's Emgee Po of 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗏 and Miss Pauline Bianca Arcega of Cloudberry Bakehouse. Open for business. We'll be back. Stay with us.
When a story starts with faith, it can only grow further and stronger. As time passes by, we learn about your story. In an institution of exceptional healthcare with genuine Christian compassion, we care about you. With a safe, secured, and sanitized environment, accompanied by a team of trusted healthcare professionals, we're built this way to serve you better. By providing affordable health services to general population, we want what's best for you. Because at New Era General Hospital, everyone matters.
Can't stand the sight of blood? Does it make you break out in a sweat? Or even faint? You might have 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗏𝗍𝗪, a fear of blood. Sometimes just looking away can help. Doctors, of course, don't have that option. Looking at your blood can tell them a lot about your health. In Nicholas's case, they discovered a dangerous condition usually only seen in older people. It was almost too late. Why does something have to happen before anyone checks? Well, we're checking now, on In Good Shape.
Sa mata ng balita, una sa kaalaman, mga boses na mapagkakatiwalaan ng mamamayan.
Higit sa 100 milyong pisong halaga ng shabu ang nasapat sa isinagawang bypass operation sa lungsod ng Baguio.
Natakot naman at nalungkot ang mga negosyanteng Chinese-Filipino sa sinapit po ng businessman at ang driver nito na dinukot at pinaslang.
Ali Soto, Alex Santos, Mata ng Agila Primetime. Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 6 ng gabi, dito lang sa Net25.
Let's get together sa Net25. Sa Net25.
The push to green living and smarter technology is getting more exciting. Recently, we covered a milestone in the country's push towards sustainable transport. Felix Technology, a global leader in EV charging systems, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Construction Incorporated, a homegrown name and renewable infrastructure, joined forces for a significant showcase of the next generation EV charging solutions. For a day, industry players, developers, and advocates of green mobility witnessed the unveiling of new EV charging solutions designed for the Philippine market.
Actually, there are only two factors that led 𝗏𝗏𝗏 to team up with Felix. One is their integrity and the other one is their quality of work. It will be integrated with the rope solar because this will be a complete renewable energy system. And also, this will enhance the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 campaign for the green energy movement. Felix is the leading supplier and manufacturer of this renewable energy hardwares in China. As of the moment, they are also supplying in different parts of the world, especially in the western part. So you see the quality of Felix is okay.
Well, Meralco is engaged into renewable business. Having an e-vehicle launch na kagaya ng ganito, showcase na we are totally participating in mga renewable initiative by other companies.
The important thing is the service. So that's why I will make cooperation with 𝗦𝗁𝗁𝗏𝗏 to make the maintenance here, and also we will provide all the solutions about what in Philippines market needs, especially for the EV charger. We not only provide the hardware side, also the software with OCPP, a protocol that has been developed by our team, and also monitoring through the apps, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 app through the mobile, and all the stations, chargers through one phone.
We are not only a hardware supplier, and we are also software service supplier. We do SaaS service global side, so that means we can integrate smart charging function into our products, such as solar compatible function, battery storage, BESS compatible function, and dynamic load balancing function, and others smart charging functions. We can do integration by ourselves because we own the hardware and software platform by our own team. We are focused on European market for the past 20 years more. We do many analysis for the Philippine market. So our team, we do some special technical solution for Philippine market, and this solution is like a customization for the local Philippine market. So I believe this solution, the technology solution, or pricing level or service, we can take exciting action to our customer here.
This partnership is more than just about installing EV chargers. It's about building the infrastructure that will make green mobility possible for more Filipinos. This is Marco Ramos for Open for Business.
And our buzzword of the week is frictionless experience. It refers to the process of making interactions between a business and its customers as smooth and effortless as possible. It aims to eliminate any potential obstacles or friction that might hinder the customer's experience or deter them from finalizing a purchase or interaction. With GCash for Business, the future of entrepreneurship is simple, efficient, and accessible. Through business tools like SoundPay and the GCash for Business portal, even the smallest businesses can now experience seamless growth and convenience. Because when doing business is made easy, success is just within reach. And with that, our quote of the week is this: you have to serve these markets. Reimagine how money can be managed and moved, because there's going to be more change in the next 5 years in financial services than happened in the past 30. That's according to Dan Schulman of Just Capital. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Thank you, Pauline. Thank you, Emgee. And thank you, Mark. And to the Rebel team here at the studio, maraming salamat sa isang oras na pagsama ninyo sa amin upang tunghayan ang isang makabuluhang usapan ukol sa negosyo dito lang sa Open for Business. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, samahan nyo kaming muli dito sa Open for Business. Catch us on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe on our social media page at Net25TV. We will bring you more insights from industry experts, thought leaders, CEOs, and featured SMEs. Together, let us help encourage business development in the Philippines. Sharpen your business acumen, feel the pulse, and set the trend for as long as you are informed and open for business. Ito po si 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝗧𝗩. Marami pong salamat.